Good morning. Over the past several weeks, Pastor Darrell has been talking about the journey of those people that in the Bible with relationships. Ed mentioned it earlier with the kids. These VIPs were very important to them, and they shaped the lives of those around them. Sometimes you'll hear me call Pastor Darrell P. Darrell, and the reason being is that our son is Darrell, and we don't want to confuse our conversation about our pastor and our son. So if you hear me say P. Darrell or Roxanne say P. Darrell, you know who we're talking about. Okay? Today's reading from the Old Testament talks about the Elijah leadership role leading on to Elisha, and how the mantle of leadership was being passed from one another. I'm going to try to show today the lessons of how the VIPs in my life have helped me in my journey of faith. Now, they taught me things and how they need to teach me those things to carry out my journey of faith, and how of all these interactions helped me in my walk in this continuing journey. Now, when I talk about these VIPs in my life, I want you to be thinking about those VIPs in your life who led you on your separate journey, but with the same goals as my journey might have been. In my earlier years, I didn't know what a VIP was. When we're put here, everything is perfect. We get up in the morning when we're small. We put things on. We put our clothes on. I don't remember taking a shower every morning like I do now. I had a crew cut, so I didn't wash my hair. Now I have to wash it every day to make it look as good as it is now. Okay. When we went into the kitchen, we had breakfast, then lunch, then dinner, or supper, depending on the part of the country you were in. Looking back, I must say that my mother was my VIP. She played with me, she read to me, she took me to Sunday school, and as I grew, she taught me how to cook, take care of the household chores, and babysit my brothers and sisters. This made me a better person and a better husband that I can do those things today. My father was a truck driver and away from home most of the week. But when he was home, he taught me to play ball, shoot a gun, be a good Boy Scout. He was the scoutmaster in our small town. And he taught me to be a good Christian, and I earned my God and Country Award on that Boy Scout journey. He taught me how to be a gentleman with the ladies and how to put fun in life by telling a good joke now and then. I wish I could tell that today. Every Saturday, my mother and father took me and my little brother to Easton, Pennsylvania, where we met up with the rest of the Rice Sisters and Melody Boys band for their regular radio program on WEST. I was part of them, singing as the 5-year-old wonder, 6-year-old wonder, 7-year-old wonder, until my voice changed. My dad was a VIP in my journey of faith. Our parents should be our first VIPs. Country singer Rodney Atkins had a big hit a few years ago that we should all learn from. The lyrics go something like this. I was going to try to sing this, but a cappella, I didn't know if I could handle it, so I'm just going to read it. Driving to the town, just my boy and me, with a happy meal in his booster seat. No, he couldn't get his toy till his nuggets were gone. A green light turned straight to red. His fries went a-flying, and his orange drink covered his lap. Well, my 4-year-old said a 4-letter word. It started with S, and I was concerned. So I said to my son, "How did you learn to talk like that?" He said, "I've been watching you, Dad. Ain't that cool? I'm your buckaroo. I want to be like you and eat all my food and grow up as tall as you are. We wear cowboy boots and camel pants. Yeah, we're alike, ain't we, Dad? I want to do everything you do. I want to be like you." We got back home, and I went to the barn. I bowed my head, and I prayed real hard. Said, "Lord, please help me help my stupid self." Then this side, at bedtime later that night, turning off my son's Scooby-Doo night light, he crawled out of bed, and he got down on his knees. He closed his little eyes, folded his little hands. He spoke to God like he was talking to a friend. And I said, "Son, How did you learn to pray like that? He said, I've been watching you, Dad. Ain't that cool? I'm your buckaroo. I want to be like you and eat all my food and grow up as tall as you are. We like fixing things and holding Mama's hand. Yeah, we're just alike, ain't we, Dad? I want to do everything you do, so I've been watching you. Our actions are being watched every day. As we have VIPs, so we might become the VIPs in someone else's life, which will pass the mantle of leadership to the next generation. Over the years, I've had many pastors who I've listened to each Sunday. Some words stick, some words don't. One person said to me one day that he wasn't being fed by the message on Sunday. Was it because we had a bad pastor? Most of us joined the church to work as part of a network of people who make up the church. If we are expected to be fed by this network, then we are missing a big part of faith's journey. We need to help the church feed those looking for the light, not wait for the light to come to them. You know that I like lighthouses. Well, if you are at sea and you're trying to find your way, you look for the light coming from the lighthouses. Each light has a different set of signets that tells what part the sailor is on what coastline. The lighthouse keeper becomes the VIP in that sailor's life journey. Jesus is our light keeper that shows us the way to keep us on our faith journey. Many passages in the Bible allude to that reference. If the person is waiting to be fed, then the brothers and sisters of this church can become the members of his or her VIP team and show him or her our mission statement of serving Christ by learning, teaching them, leading, and loving them during their journey of faith. We don't realize it at the time, but each of our teachers in school, both public and especially those Sunday school teachers, were all VIPs in teaching us something during our faith journey. As a member of a sports team, each of us is a VIP to our teammates, as our teammates are VIPs to us. Life lessons are learned both on and off the field and court. It is what we do with them that counts. You might not think of a veteran as a VIP in your faith journey, but it was alluded to in the pastoral prayer. But consider the sacrifice each of them instill in our freedom to pray and worship our God without the fear of retaliation from authority. So remember, each time you see one who has served our country, just lean over and tell them thank you. Thank you for being a VIP on my faith journey. There are VIPs in my life every day and in your life every day. In my Lions Club, for example, we provide eyeglasses to the needy at no charge, and so you could say that we are VIPs in each of their lives and hope that serving them show that when we are serving others, we are serving God. One member of our club, Ron White, is currently on a mission trip to Philippines, where on a remote island he will be screening those in need of glasses and will give out about 2,000 pairs of glasses in a week-long trip. Each of these trips to the country, whether it be Philippines or Africa or Honduras or whatever, is in conjunction with missionaries in that country, and they preach Christianity to them, a real danger in some parts of the world where he goes. He says that God is with him and helps him serve beyond his means. Aren't we all VIPs? When I was the controller of Calibrator sales several years ago, OBS sent me on a trip to Kentucky for a conference. Roxanne and I were sitting in the Charlotte airport waiting for our connecting flight, which we had quite a bit of wait for that flight. As the incoming plane unloaded, we noticed an elderly couple in a wheelchair being pushed to the side by the flight attendants. After the plane had been completely empty, the couple was left there all by themselves and with nobody helping him. I went up to the counter and let the clerk know of the situation, but they said they were taking care of it. After about another 20 minutes or so, the couple tried themselves with their feet, with their wheelchair, trying to move along the corridor. I went over to them and asked if we could help. The man said, "Why do you want to do that?" I told them that if I had a grandmother and my grandfather, and they were in the same situation, I would hope that someone would help them. They accepted our help, and we took them to the baggage claim and called for their transportation. They thanked us and asked me for my business card. A few weeks later, I received a book in the mail with my business card attached. The man we helped was Richard Harvey, author of the book 70 Years of Miracles. In the foreword of his book, he says, "Many of God's servants today believe that miracles were merely the sight of God used to establish the early church and give it credibility." He tells story of 70 years of miracles. The only purpose for the story being put into print was in some way that someday they would come to believe and put their full trust in the living God. Were we VIPs in his life, just like he had been VIPs in the faith journey of so many others? All those years of his faith journey, he was VIP, aren't we all? Based on the interactions of VIPs from the past, the present, and the future, my walk with faith comes from all sources. The good and the bad in our lives have brought us safely thus far, and through the grace of God will continue to teach us and lead us and love us unconditionally on my and your faith journey. One day, all of us will stand together before the throne of God, presenting our lives in deep gratitude and praise to Christ. Together we will say, "Worthy, O Master, yes, our God. Take the glory, the honor, the power. You created it all. It was created because you wanted it." And the people said, Amen.